Hi friends, and welcome to a homesteading hustle. I'm Sarah and welcome to our homestead. Today I'm going to do a quick pre-season, well I don't know how quick it'll be, we'll find out, but a pre-season garden tour for you. As of right now, we just have mostly annuals each year. We've changed it up a little bit. This is our third season with this garden. We've gardened in the past with a different property, and so we've learned a lot along the way and just continually learning. So I'll just kind of share with you what we put in our garden last year. And this year it'll be slightly different, and even location of things will be a little bit different as well. So this is Aspen. She's about 9 months, and she's just gonna hang out with us today. So let's go ahead and I'll bring you to our garden. So we have not done any cleanup yet for this season, so some of the stuff is just kind of scattered about, but that's homesteading. So I have the front gates here open, and we're just gonna walk right through. Now, one of the things I want to do this year, which will be kind of fun, is I actually want to put like an arch trellis of some sort. Right here. I don't know if I want to do flowers or maybe like a pole bean or something of that nature, but that is in the works, and I will definitely do that this year. So walk into our gates here, and my husband makes these garden boxes, so he's made them kind of fancy. I know a lot of people do kind of really basic garden boxes. You can just use, wood. You definitely want to do untreated wood because you don't want anything leaching into your plants or your soil. But he makes these garden boxes, and so we do part garden box and some in-ground. We kind of do a mixture of both. This was actually one of the first ones that he made, these big square ones. I'm actually going to move that one down there, and that will be the other side of this arch trellis that I want to make this year. So that's kind of our entry. We have a couple little planters here, which our chickens have definitely dug through. Those are kind of nifty. They're old chairs, and I took out the center and put a planter in it, and they actually look pretty cute. So I'll probably put some flowers or something of that nature in there this year. Last year I did have some black cream tomatoes in there. So we have the garden boxes along the edging. If you can see here, we have garden boxes along the edging. And this last year was where we had potatoes. Now my husband is Irish, and so potatoes are a must in our garden, and they're great for long-term storage. And so we definitely wanted to make sure we had a nice big plot for potatoes, and that's where these were. He's going to move them this year, and I don't exactly remember where he said he wanted to move them. I think over there somewhere. And I'll give you the measurements of this garden as well. I'll probably put it right on the screen here so you can see that. I want to say, off the top of my head, it's like 100 feet, 100 by 100, and then we have this cutout back here. Gosh, yeah, I don't recall what it is. I'll have to put it on the screen for you. So we had the potatoes here, and then we did 2 different types of cucumbers, which we'll do again this year. And we had them in these 2 garden boxes, and we do put them on a trellis. So we do allow them to climb upward, and we have been really blessed with being able to grow things really well on trellising. So, and obviously you can see our chicken area back there, our hay shed. So we do the cucumbers here. And then over here, we do beans. And next to the beans, we had peas. Actually, it was the other way around. These were the peas, and those are the beans. So right now, my husband just has all of these covered with a black poly of sort. I believe that is actually a garden cover specifically made for that, I believe. But they're just kind of weighted down with these old pieces of dirt that we had dug up from digging holes. It's just kind of weighed down because we have no tree coverage, and so the wind out here is insanity. So that was what my husband did last year at the end of the season to prep the gardens for this year. It allows the nutrients to remain in the soil, keeps some moisture in, and also prevents weeds from coming up right away when weather gets nice like it is today. So yeah, we had the peas, which was a sugar snap pea. We had a rattlesnake bean here, which we'll do those again. Both of those again. These little pots in between, I kind of change those up. I like to either put flowers or herbs in those. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that this year, but we'll see. We have sheep over there, which you can't see them right now. They're in the shed behind there. And then we had, in this one, we had a bunch of different kind of peppers. So we had habanero, jalapeno, and like 4 or 5 varieties of a bell pepper. And we'll also do all of those this year. I'm not sure if they'll go in this location, but they seem to do really well there. There's Ghirardelli. He's he's a Finn Gotland cross, and he's so cute. His name is Ghirardelli because he's like, his coat is a rich chocolatey, and I just thought Ghirardelli worked really well. He's pretty cute. His ba is a bit much. He sounds kind of whiny, but he's so cute. So here, yes, we had cherry tomatoes here, and we will do cherry tomatoes again this year. Tomatoes are one of my favorites to grow because I eat them like they are chips. So cherry tomatoes here. And then we did do a butter crunch lettuce down here in between these 2 boxes. Now, I'm not a huge fan of having this on the ground, so I kind of want to put our lettuce in a box this year. So I'm going to have to ask my husband what his thoughts are on that and what he wants to do. It's so hard to weed, especially when it comes to lettuces. I'm just not a huge fan of doing that on the ground. Plus, there can be a lot of splashback on the ground, which makes it harder to wash your greens. I've actually thought a lot about getting one of those vertical growing towers and growing greens in those. But I could just do a box. So I'm not sure what we'll do for that yet. Do you have any suggestions on where do you like to grow your greens? Do you like to grow them close to your house so you use them more frequently? Do you like to grow them in the ground, in a box, in a tower? Let me know what you think. I would love your suggestions. So here we had Aroma tomatoes. So we had the tomatoes next to each other. The Aroma tomatoes were here. And we didn't get a super great yield on the Romas last year. We definitely got some. Our neighbor did bring us some, which was super awesome because I did make some salsa and some other things. I know Romas are really great for making ketchup, which I have not made our own ketchup yet. But that is something on the list as well. So we have Romas and cherry tomatoes started indoors right now. You may have seen my seed starting video, which I started those indoors already. So we'll definitely put those in boxes as well. Okay, now right next to those Roma tomatoes, I don't remember what was here. We must have put something in between here. I don't recall what it was. Maybe it was a different kind of lettuce. Right next to that, we have our strawberries. So here we have a perennial, obviously, if you're familiar with strawberries at all. My husband did cover it with hay, and we'll probably uncover this very soon. Today's kind of the first really nice day here in Minnesota. It's been really dreary and cold and wet, and so you want to make sure we keep everything protected as long as possible, but also don't prevent it from growing when the season does start to lighten up a bit. So we're probably at the time to uncover these guys here. So, and then just across from that, which would be right next to where the potatoes were, because we're on the opposite side of the garden now, we had a bunch of zucchini in here. So we had zucchini, and we also had some beets down there. So last year was the first year that I successfully grew beets. I had a friend give me beets the year prior, and I just thought they were delicious. And in the past, I've always thought beets tasted like dirt, but I have since, and I definitely think that beets are amazing. I will be growing them this year. So I'm not sure if they'll go in this line again, but they're going in here somewhere. So, and then we had right next to that in a similar line, so you can see here, we had spaghetti squash, butternut squash. Again, both will be going in our garden again this year. Those are great for long-term storage, and here in Minnesota, cold weather crops are going to be the ticket, and those are both really great cold weather crops. So we did have melons in this line too, but they didn't do very well. I believe that if I remember correctly, they rotted before we could actually harvest them. So the chickens got what was left of those. I've seen where people will put them on trellises and actually contain the melon. Once it starts to grow, they'll put like a netting of some sort around the melon very loosely so it can still grow, but attach that netting to the trellis. So when the fruit ripens, because usually a melon, when it's a small melon, like a muskmelon and cantaloupes, those usually will fall off of the vine once they're ripe and ready to eat, their sugars and everything. And so once they are ripe, they will fall into that netting, and then you have a super awesome ready to eat fruit that's just hanging in this net. And I really want to try that. So I don't know if that's realistic, but it seems like just keeping them on the ground, they seem to get pests and they just become a waste. And I mean, chicken food, if you have chickens, nothing really goes to waste. Then we have the box that we had eggplant in here, which my tragic eggplant story. Yeah, that's in another video. That's in my 5 must and 5 probably will not grow again videos. So eggplant, probably not my favorite thing to grow. I might try again in the future. Long story short, that was here. And then I also do an English breakfast radish, and we had that in here. And we also had celery in here. So in the past, we're just kind of getting into what things grow well with each other. And so some of this stuff was just kind of plopped in, and I know that not all of it pairs well together. And so my husband's doing a lot of research on what types of things are good for the soil, what will provide nitrogen back into the soil, what are low feeders, so what kinds of things don't take a ton of things out of the soil. And so we want to make sure that we're utilizing the appropriate plants for the appropriate places. So and obviously replenishing soil with natural fertilizer organically, and doing a back to Eden style organic layering system. As long as we're providing those nutrients and allowing that rotation for our vegetables and our fruits, hopefully we'll have long-term success. So obviously I know some of this stuff doesn't necessarily pair together, but we're learning about that. If you have any suggestions on that, also let me know in the comments below. I know that planting different herbs and flowers are really great for a lot of plants, and so I'm going to be doing, I know basil goes really great with tomatoes, and any kind of aromatics can be really great to keep pests away. So yeah, let me know if you have suggestions on what kinds of things to pair together, and that's something that I'll be working on this year. This garden box, what did this one have in it? I think it was cabbage. I think there was cabbage in here. Maybe broccoli was in here. I think it was cabbage and broccoli. So yeah, that's that. But check this out. I have rhubarb. Okay, check out this rhubarb. This is cool. So the story behind this rhubarb is I actually did not grow this from seed. It was actually already here. I had found it in a random tire, like a huge tire planter on the property. And I transferred it the first year that we were here, and I didn't like where I put it, and so I ended up moving it over here, and they are coming up so wonderful. It's amazing how quickly these come up. It has been cold and rainy, and these are looking lovely. Let's see if we can get in there. Oh, I don't know if I can get a good shot for you, but these are just so beautiful. They even have some ripening. Can you see the red down there? These are fun. I mean, they're a little yellow. They're lacking something. Probably nitrogen, maybe? I got to learn a little bit more about those. But how fun. I have not harvested off of these yet because I transplanted them 2 years in a row. So I wanted to make sure that they got nice, thick, hardy stalks. So we will see how that goes. Over here we had a random mound, which we did put watermelon in, and we will do watermelon again this year. And oh, you can see our border collie is trying to herd these 2 little ducks. Moving on from the watermelons, and so we have some trees here. We have a couple traditional apple trees up here. This is a pear tree. This is another pear tree. So we have 2 pear trees. We have 2 traditional apple trees. I don't remember if they're Honeycrisp or what they are. 2, 4, 6, 8 apple trees, which they have put a couple of blooms on so far. It'll be a while till they provide fruit. First year that we put them up, we did have some deer that did a number on the apple trees. You can see the little duckies over there. They're so cute. So we're hoping that we can revive some of them from the deer damage. Here we have some raspberry plants. We bought these from a place here in Minnesota. My husband grabbed them as well as some of the trees that we got. They had some started ones, so that last year we put them in last year and we had already gotten some fruit off of them, and they provided a lot. We were actually really impressed, and they were really quite great. So raspberries are going to be so fun when they really start to come in. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It looks like 9 good healthy plants here. This is a plot of 12. It looks like 3 of them aren't necessarily doing much right now. That can always change, obviously. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Okay, I gotta move this. It's hanging out on this tree. We don't want this on the tree. Oh no, we get really crazy wind here. And so anything just blows around our yard. And oh my gosh, you tilted over a little bit. We still have these little protectors on the bottom to kind of keep them upright. And again, the wind is just insane out here. Like that one's leaning a little bit. It looks like it got beat up a little bit. It should be all right. Maybe I can give it a little boost down here. It's okay, little tree. It'll be okay. We got some cute little buds on there. Oh, I don't know anything about pruning apple trees. I know that we have not pruned our trees yet. And we were probably supposed to do that a long time ago. So, if you grow apple trees or an orchard, don't cringe because we don't know what we're doing. But we'll learn. We're learning. Sometimes you just have to start. Sometimes doing all the research in the world is not going to prepare you like hands-on work can do. So sometimes just dive right in, learn as you go. That's how we roll. This was pumpkins. We had sugar pumpkins in here, which turned out so beautiful. And I ended up using them, and I made some, well, they actually sat in my kitchen all winter, but I used them in the spring. And I made some pumpkin bars and some pumpkin butter. And no, you can't safely can pumpkin butter, just so you know. But it's just refrigerated. But it was pretty good. And what else did I make with it? I think that's all I made with it. But I used all of them for that. And it was really good. Now, gosh, the sun is really bright. I can't see you. Yeah, look at this baby. She's so cute. Hi, Aspen. All right, so we had the pumpkins there. We did have corn here. We have decided that we won't be growing corn for our own consumption because it has never worked. We've grown corn multiple years. And really the thing with corn is you really need a large plot of corn for them to pollinate properly, which is why we just haven't had the greatest luck with corn being sweet or even the right texture. We've always grown just kind of small plots of it, and it just doesn't pollinate properly, and we just don't have the time to go around it individually pollinate it. And so if I do grow corn, it will mostly just be for like decor, for fall decor, or for chickens to munch on. And we'll just go support a local farm stand on the corner for our corn. Over here at the corner, right where the corn was, I think this might be where he's going to put potatoes this year. He might be putting potatoes over here. I know that we have a cherry tree, and then over here we have another cherry tree. Don't recall what kind of cherry. Let's see if it says right on there. It's a meteor cherry. Meteor cherry. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. This right here, which is right next to where we had our winter squash category, we had some sunflowers here. We ended up, some of them didn't do so hot. There was a couple that we were able to utilize and feed to the chickens. They love, love, love to peck the sunflower seeds out of there. But this year, oh, this is maybe where he's doing potatoes. Well, it's kind of trenched out. I mean, it's definitely dug out. There's a dip here. So we spent some time digging that out. This might be where potatoes are going. it's going to be fun when I actually have some foliage in here to show you guys. This is pre-season, so we're just kind of getting the general gist and ideas of what's going on in here. Blueberries. We do have blueberry plants here. Now, blueberries are very sensitive. You can't even see them. They're blending in with the... There's no greenery. You can't even tell what they are. There's blueberries there. But blueberries are sensitive to soil. So actually, a lot of berries can be very sensitive to soil, but blueberries in particular, I don't feel like they do super well right here. I don't remember, is it acidic soil or what kind of soil do they like? Neutral? Is it alkaline soil that they like? I don't remember. A certain type of soil that they like, and we always have to do an organic treat on our soil for the blueberries. They always seem to get that reddish hue, which means that they are lacking. And so we have those here. I don't know how well they'll do here, but we'll see. And those are kind of right across from the raspberries here. We're hoping to get some fruit. I mean, how fun is it to be able to go out in your garden, in your yard, and just pick some strawberries and some raspberries and some blueberries and make your own jams? Well, someday it'd be fun if we could do that too. Back down to the front over here. And this is the garden box that I planted a couple years ago. So the first year we were here, this actually has some perennial medicinal herbs in it. I made a couple mistakes here. I would definitely recommend, if you're going to do garden boxes, don't put perennials in your first year, because there's an amount of settling that has to occur in the box in order for your plants to not get jacked up. So basically, if you see here, I originally had filled this up to the top, and it has settled down a legit 10 inches. So the first year, you can see some little buds down here. I have, let's see, you can see some little greenery coming through in there. I planted in here originally lemon balm, lemon mint, German chamomile, and what else did we do in there? There's a couple other perennial herbs in there. And the first year, it was just like, oh, this smells amazing. It's beautiful. It was settling a bit, no big deal. But the German chamomile completely took over this entire box. So this year, I'm going to replant all of this. So basically, I'm probably not going to worry about what comes. I'm going to replant the German chamomile is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move it somewhere else. And all the other stuff, I'll just replant somewhere else, like from seed. I won't be too worried about what it is, because I didn't use a ton of seed to make it happen. It just spread like wildfire. It was insane. Chamomile is going to be moved. This is going to be moved on the other side of the entrance that I showed you at the beginning. And this is going to be the other side of what I want to do like a arch trellis in. So we'll have the two boxes on either side of the entry and some kind of floral trellis. What are your favorite things to put on a trellis that will provide some beautiful color, maybe some smell, bring in some pollinators, and yeah, just be beautiful? Do you have any suggestions? Let me know. I have not grown a ton of flowers in the past, so I do have some zinnias started for my first time, which I'm really excited about. I've done some calendulas, or is that how I say it? Calendula. I've done catnip. I have some things up front that are pretty basic. I mean, I have hostas and daylilies, stuff like that. But I'm just learning about what kinds of things will go in the garden to be companion plants and good pollination plants. And yeah, I want to learn. And so this whole thing is sharing what we're doing, what we've done in the past, and how can we help you and how can you help us? You know, let's do this together. Homesteading it's a big task, and there's a lot to learn. And, you know, we've been doing little bits here and there each year. We've been progressing in our homesteading adventure, and we know that there's so much more to learn, and we are open to all of that. Okay, this was purple, I think purple or red cabbage in here last year. So I think I showed you all of our boxes for the most part. These are all the boxes that are in our garden and what we had last year. So there'll be a few different things this year. And I'll definitely give you summer tours as things grow, as we put things in the ground. And it'll be a whole experience. We can do it together. Okay, so this is that box at the entry. Right now we just have some random fill at the bottom. These were just, when you dig holes in the ground, don't throw away that dirt. Just use it as bottom fill for things. With our garden boxes and a lot of the ground planting that we do in our organic gardening method, back to Eden style of layering, where you lay down cardboard and you do organic matter and you do dirt and you definitely do like a layering method. So yeah, and here's Mr. River. You gonna help in the garden this year, dude?
Sure.
Yeah, right. He's lying. He does not like gardening.
No.
It is not his favorite thing to do in the room. Yay! What's up? What's your question? A freezy? Sure. Make sure the tip of your wrapper goes in the garbage, please.
Yeah.
Look at your freckles are coming out from the sun. That's a good sign. That's nice out. Yay. Okay.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, here he is popping into another video telling you to like and subscribe. And I would take his advice if I were you. We'll be sharing a lot more fun things over the summer. So, okay, bye. Okay, so for the most part, that is our pre-season garden tour. Now, I know there was no greenery besides the rhubarb, of course, to really show you today. But if, stick around and we will show you kind of as we go what kinds of things we're going to be putting in. And as they grow, it'll be fun to see each thing grow. And we'll let you know what we learn about all of the things. So thank you for watching and have a wonderful, blessed day. And I will see you in the next one.